This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bumper to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen, your KTAR car guy, and Dave Riccio is on vacation today, somewhere in Louisiana. Maybe he's with Rosie. Well, Rosie's here, so he's out doing some fishing and hanging out with some friends. And so we've got some guys filling in for him. I've got Tim Nelson and Pascal Adcock from my shop, from Virginia Auto Service, to help carry the conversation and answer the questions that you need answered about your car. So at Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, every weekend, hopefully have a better overall car experience, whether it's a repair you need, you're thinking about buying a new car, selling one, a used one, not quite sure, anything related to your car, give us a call at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. And today we are talking about vehicle safety inspections. You know, should the state make you have inspections? I don't know. We can talk about that. There's some interesting news that I read. But I want to first start off by thanking you, the listeners. If you tune in, like I hope you all do during the week, like you do on the weekends, you probably heard the KTAR Radiothon at Phoenix Children's Hospital. And I got to tell you, what an amazing event to be there while it's happening. The energy there that the staff here at KTAR brings to that event. Not only that, but it's the stories that we hear at Phoenix Children's Hospital that really motivate us to give. And that's what you guys did. You gave, you the listeners, the local business community, everybody has chipped in, and $1.47 million was donated on Thursday to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and that's just fantastic. So for all of you that participated, thank you so much. But the good news is, all the Bumper to Bumper Radio shops that you can find at bumpertobumperradio.com, we're carrying that promotion through the end of the month with our Summer of Love. So it's not too late. Go into a shop. Even if you're not getting your car fixed, stop in, give them put $1 in the jar. We're going to match it, all those shops. And in that total tally is not the Bumper to Bumper money yet. And over the last 4 years, I think we've averaged about, well, it's over $10,000 on average, I'm pretty sure. And if it's not $10,000, it's $9,999. It is awfully close. So let's see if we can help get that number up a little bit higher. And again, thank you for that. So I opened up my email yesterday morning, sitting at home, and I see auto technician arrested for manslaughter charges. And I'm thinking, whoa, what happened? Is this just some mechanic that went off the deep end and beat somebody up or got in a bar brawl or something? No, that's not what happened. Auto technician in Vermont is arrested on manslaughter charges for failure to properly inspect a vehicle that he worked on. And this is a little bit different from your regular inspection. I'm not talking about the inspection that kind of comes with your oil change or anything like that. I'm talking about a vehicle state safety inspection, similar to the emissions program, but it's testing the safety of the vehicle. And we don't have those in Arizona. I come from a state, before I moved to Phoenix this time, I lived in Virginia, and they have Virginia state safety inspections. And the state safety inspectors are done, the inspections are done at repair shops. They're done by certified mechanics, and the program is overseen by the Virginia State Police. And if you're an inspector, your driver's license is on the line. If you give away an inspection that you shouldn't, maybe, or do something wrong with an inspection, your driver's license is on the line. Well, apparently now your life is on the line. And that's not just you, the driver of the car, and the people who share the roads with. That's you, the inspector, or you, the mechanic. So this will be interesting to see how this played out. But this technician, this mechanic, charged somebody for an inspection as part of the program, issued them a safety sticker, and deemed the car safe to drive. 2 months later, this 83-year-old woman driving a 23-year-old car was killed in an accident because of a brake failure. Now, I've read this article, and I've read a lot of the comments that go along with it where the users can chime in. and it sounds like maybe this technician could have been being a little bit lazy, and he just wasn't going to check it. He's trying to do shortcuts. There was some talk about maybe he was using an outdated manual that the service station had on file. Or there was also some talk that he was just kind of making some subjective judgments in his head and thinking, this is my regular customer. She only drives to church and to the grocery store. It's 8-10 miles a week maybe. This poor lady, her brakes were rusted out. There was problems with the brake lines or suspension mounting where it had. Can you imagine a 23-year-old car in Vermont? And so he says, well, I'm going to be the nice guy. I'm going to just pass her because I think it's going to be okay. Well, now look at him. So what do you think? Do you think you drive around town, and I see it all the time, and we can look at minor infractions to major problems. I see so many cars with burned out headlights. Pascal had an experience this morning. A Jeep in front of me almost rear-ended because no brake lights. But then you see cars with bad tires, these enormously lifted trucks, which I think are cool, but there's a certain point where that is unsafe for the other people on the road, and driving's a privilege. We have to. Not only is our driver's license a privilege to have, but I think when you're going to be on the road, you have the responsibility to make sure your car's in good shape, but also us as professionals. If you're an auto technician out there, maybe you have an opinion about this, but when we get a car into our shop, Tim, we're doing the inspection, and I'm talking. There's an inspection that comes with your oil change. We're going to check your fluids and your lights and stuff like that. And we're looking to see if you need maintenance on your car. That's part of why we're there. Just like going to your doctor. Are you taking your vitamins? Do you want this? Do you want that? But then there's times when you've got a worn out thing. You've got a suspension component that's bad, and you need to be told that. And I think most professional technicians take that as a responsibility, just like your doctor. You go to the doctor for a cough and you've got this giant growth on your back and he doesn't say something about it. That's his obligation to do that. And we find stuff at our shop all the time, burned out light bulbs, minor stuff. But we find stuff that people don't even come in for that are major safety inspections. Tim, I know we had one yesterday. What was the deal with that? Some kind of leak or something?
We had a customer come in and he had a service engine light on with not any drivability issue, but the technician got in the car and he was overwhelmed with the smell of fuel. And we just went ahead and found that we had a fuel filter that was just leaking really bad. We put one on. I actually contacted the customer after and asked him about it, and he didn't even know that, didn't have any fuel smell at all. So, little things like that. That's important to.
Now, was that fuel smell the reason the check engine light was on?
No, it was totally unrelated.
So here we have somebody, and it happens. I'm driving around my car right now. I've had a cracked windshield for 2 months. I got a low tire pressure light on. Well, I got that off because I finally got my tire fixed on Thursday. I'm 2,000 miles over for an oil change. So and I own the shop. But these things happen. But what's odd here is, maybe that fuel leak just started a little while ago and it's been minor, but you're just so busy. Life is going so fast, and you don't even notice these things. That could have been a major safety issue.
Yeah, you just can't have the blinders on when a car comes in. A customer comes in and asks for whatever, a brake inspection, a tire inspection, but you have to be able to look at the car and make sure and deem that we are the responsible one to tell the customer what's wrong with their car.
Yeah, tires are a big thing. And it's the attorneys, the Hawk and the Eagle and the Beaver, and they're all, in a wreck and get some dough. That's some of the problem, but you go back and I've heard of shops that rotated the tires 2 services ago, and then the car's been even to another shop, and then they had a blowout, and the first shop that ever even, almost if you look at the tire, you're almost responsible. You're getting included in a lawsuit. So these things happen. The cars on the road, some are unsafe, and I can see there's pros and cons to it. The pros are we're going to have safer roads maybe. Maybe we're going to get better insurance rates if the number of accidents come down and there's better quality cars on the roads. But then I understand that could put a lot of people in a tough position. There's families out there that are struggling every day. They're trying to get around. They're doing the best they can, and a state safety inspection might take not that they're going to physically take their car away from them, but it might make them a criminal. We talk about these laws that make honest people into criminals for no reason, but it could get somebody in trouble where they get a suspended driver's license, and then that's just the sometimes the start of the downward spiral. So we definitely don't want that. But there's all kinds of pros and cons, and I'm a big believer. Even if the state's not telling you to do something, and I'm also a big believer in less government, by the way. I mean, we don't want them always telling us what we got to do, but there's got to be some balance. I mean, there'd be a cost to it, I'm sure. There'd be a cost to a consumer. It'd be a lot to get it geared up. And we had them here in the state of Arizona in the 60s, way before my time. And I don't know when those went away. But I would think that people would be willing to invest a little bit of money for an inspection. And even if you're not, something we can talk deeper about, what should you expect when you go to your repair shop and ask them for an inspection? Again, there's the free ones that come with your car, but what should you pay? What's it worth to you to have a real safety inspection done on your car to make sure it's safe, reliable, and it's going to continue to give you good service and continue the resale value of the car? And I know somebody that's sitting in the studio today, it's got dirty hands, it's probably going to have to buy a new shirt from Battery Acid, who probably wishes they maybe had a battery inspection done, huh, Kerry?
Yeah, you guys always talk about the lifespan of a battery being like 3 years. Well, I had to change a battery this week on my car. And I pulled the old battery out, did it myself, very proud. And I found out that my battery was exactly 3 years and 1 month old.
To the day.
To the day.
That's funny. And I think you got 37 months, if my math is right. That's pretty good. Yeah. So, and that's what you're going to get out of an interstate battery. You're going to get a good lasting battery, good quality. You can find a warranty on that. Any state that you're in, hence the name Interstate Battery, you're always going to find a place to take care of that battery. 37 months. The average lifespan of a battery in Arizona is about 30 months. So if 22. You need, Tim's over here whispering, 22 months. 22. Some are better than the others. So we got to throw out some of the highs and the lows and come off the average. So if you need a battery, look at interstatebatteries.com and then look at all these shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, and they can help you with that too. We'll be right back taking your calls at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen, and Dave Riccio is vacationing somewhere, maybe sweating a lot down there in southern Louisiana. So every Saturday, Dave and I, your KTAR car guys at 11, helping you with your car, helping you make that machine of yours make it through the summer and just keep it on the road. So anything we can help you with, please give us a call at 602-277-5827. And if you're the shy type, 411-923. You can text us as long as you're not driving. We talked about the Give-a-thon. Again, thanks everybody for the $1.47 million donated to Phoenix Children's Hospital at the KTAR Radiothon. And vehicle safety inspections. Should the state mandate these things? Or would it help us have safer roads? Keep some of the bad cars off the road? Lower insurance rates maybe? Would it maybe disenfranchise some people or put some people in a spot? I don't know. You know, what's your take? Do you want to get your car inspected, and what do you think about having inspections?
Matt, currently 18 other states have the safety inspections right now, mostly on the East Coast.
And I can see why. I mean, like I said, I lived in Virginia, and you get cars where the floorboards rust out, the brake lines rust really bad. And the reason we're talking about that, if you just joined us, I opened up a news article yesterday morning. It said, auto technician arrested for manslaughter. Well, it's not what you'd think. This guy charged somebody for an inspection of their vehicle, gave it a clean bill of health. 2 months later, they got in a car accident with a problem that clearly would have been detected and failed an inspection. Unfortunately, an 83-year-old woman lost her life. And this young, I'd say young man, I don't know his age, but this auto technician, you know, who just trying to probably do a good job maybe, or maybe he's been lazy. Now he can be going to jail and cost a lot of money. So, you know, there's a lot of pros. I'm sure there's some cons to doing that, to having those inspections too, but we can talk about that. So we're going to go to the phones. We've got Mark in Chandler on a 2011 Mazda Miata. Mark, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. What can we help you with today?
Good morning, gentlemen. Regarding my oil change, and I use a quality oil, quality filter, I don't have a floor jack to jack up the back end. I drive the front end up.
Uh-huh.
At 9 inches for the front end up. I'm doing regular oil changes every 5,000 miles. My used oil analysis comes back perfect. Am I getting enough of the oil out with the car at that angle that the fresh stuff I put in with the fresh filter, everything's being cleaned and circulated? Or is that angle preventing enough of the oil to drain out, and I really should find a way to jack up the back end at the same time?
Well, if you jack up the back end, now you're just making the car level. So I would say that if you're getting good oil analysis, you must be doing a good job of something. You got using good quality oil and filter. I can't picture the underside of a Miata right now, but whichever side the drain plug is on. Now, if the drain plug's in the front and you're jacking up the back, yeah, maybe you're leaving some in there. I remember some of the old Fords, the Crown Vics and Mustangs, they had two drain plugs, one on the front side of the engine and one on the back, because the oil pan had a hump in the middle. Sounds like you're doing something right to me. And which, by the way, next week is our oil change show. We have a troubologist in, Jason from Lab 1, and that's what they do. They do oil analysis, testing, do a lot of big rigs. Once in a while we'll send oil down there to have it checked out, or transmission fluid, and trying to get to the root cause of a problem. But Mark, it sounds like you're doing something right to me. And maybe if you can, if you've got a low profile pan under the car, maybe jack it up, do your business, get it drained out, leave the drain plug out, lower it down, and see if any more comes out. That might be something you can try. So thanks for the question. We're going to go with Tom next in Chandler on a 2015 Hyundai Santa Fe. What's up, Tom?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Great.
Hey, I wish I could say the same. I bought a 2015 Santa Fe Sport this year in February, and probably within 500 to 800 miles, I had a check engine light come on. And I got a call. I didn't know it came on. I actually got a call from the dealership saying my Blue Link notified them I had a check engine light. I asked my wife. She says, I didn't notice it. And I asked him, what's the code? He said it was like something 02 on a code of some sort. And he says, it's most likely your gas cap is not seated right. So I thought, okay. So I asked my wife, went out, checked the gas cap. The light went off. Didn't have a problem with it for a couple weeks. A couple weeks later, the light comes back on. I'm due to bring it in for my first oil change, 3,000 miles. I bring it to them it was about 3,400 miles. Say, hey, the light's on, so I bring it to them, do the oil change, and they take care of everything. And they said, I go, what was the light? He says, it's just a vacuum thing. I said, okay. So that was on a Friday. Saturday morning, my way to work, the light comes back on again.
Mm-hmm.
So I call them. Bring it back that following Tuesday. They get in there and they say the fuel pump's bad. So they had to change fuel pump, did a bunch of stuff to the fuel line. Should be good. Set the car up. Goes for about a month or so, if that. I'm at about 4,200 miles now on this car. Check engine light comes on again. So I bring it back to them. This is 2 weeks ago now. Bring it back to them, and they call me up, and they say, we have to change the fuel injectors. I said, okay. So they changed all the fuel injectors. I go pick the car up. I get 6 miles from the dealership. Check engine light comes back on. I bring it back to them. Turn around and go right back. They've had it there for 2 weeks. They put over 500 miles in the car trying to get it fixed out. They called me the other day and tell me now they got to replace the cylinder head.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with this. I'd be a little concerned too.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like they're doing a lot of guessing, Tom.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm thinking.
The most important thing you can do here, it sounds to me like you're well on your way to maybe having this car qualify for the lemon law.
Okay.
I used to do arbitration with Ford. I was the technical expert for Ford on a panel where we decided when the lemon law applied. And I don't know the details. Maybe it's 30 days total out of service, 3 repair attempts or something like that. So the most important thing that you can do is get documentation. If you take that in for an oil change and that light is on, do not let them tell you, oh, no big deal, don't worry about it. No, you want that documented on the work order. That's got to be there. Second to that, keep good notes for yourself, when it was in, what the mileage is. And it sounds like there's a challenge there. It very well could just be that there's something that they're totally missing. I mean, it sounds like a lot of guessing. But then again, you've got a brand new car. Maybe they're not, the dealerships, they're not used to working on it in 2015. Maybe it's the same as a 14 or a 13 in some cases. There's something going on there. I would probably get a hold of Hyundai Corporate at this point and tell them, write them a letter. I think the key word there is you've lost confidence in the brand, and that's going to get their attention. I feel your pain. Hopefully they've got you in a loaner car, which is also a brand new Hyundai. But I would be having some serious conversations with having them unwind this deal and just get you a new car. Look up the lemon law. You can Google that. You're probably going to see a lot of it as advertisement, but there's also a lot of other information there. So we can talk about that more after the break, and that might be a good show topic. So 602-277-KTAR. We'll talk to you in just a few minutes.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's lisareneehenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family-owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Fix it or forget it. This is the show that'll help you decide what to do with your car. Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
What to do with your car. Maybe you should get a safety inspection. Talking about an auto technician in Vermont that was arrested for manslaughter after failing to properly inspect a customer's vehicle that they paid him to do this inspection. Caused a death. And this guy's looking at some jail time maybe, or some serious problems. So welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen. Dave Riccio is on vacation this week, but we are always here to help you. We've got Tim Nelson and Pascal Adcock in from Virginia Auto Service to help carry the conversation. So thanks for coming, guys. And we have got, you've heard us talk in the last couple of weeks, in the last month, about Phoenix Children's Hospital in the Summer of Love, and just on Thursday, several of the Bumper to Bumper shops were out at Phoenix Children's Hospital helping KTAR, and with your help actually, raise money for Phoenix Children's Hospital. And one of those guys that was there is Rob Schlegel from S&S Tires. And Rob, are you on the phone?
I am. Good Saturday morning to you guys.
Good morning, Rob. Thanks for joining us today here. And you and I sat next to each other on the phone bank, and it was amazing, the people calling in. They want to give money. They want to tell their story. And I know you've had some stuff happen in your shop. People they want to give. We've got the money jar on the counter, and you want to talk to us about that. What happened at your shop?
Well, it's a great promotion, and I want to just get back to sitting there on the phone at the phone bank for the at the Children's Hospital, and just the electricity in the room. All these people calling and wanting to donate money. It was just an awesome feeling. I hope I get invited to do that again next year, because I left there just feeling awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I mean, like you said, the energy, and man, there's some stories that are tough to listen to as well.
Yep, and what we're doing at the stores is every customer that donates $1, we match it. And so on our computer screens, we have a little reminder note, because we have some busy stores, and we don't always remember to ask. So we have a little reminder note saying, hey, don't forget to ask for the Phoenix Children's Hospital donation. And one of my managers at my store in Goodyear, his name is George, he was billing a customer out, and there was a line of people, and so he billed the lady out and thanked her for her business, and she said, aren't you going to ask me for the donation for Phoenix Children's Hospital? And
she was looking at that computer.
He was using a computer that was turned sideways so she could see the little note. And he said, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you about that. She goes, well, I want to donate $10 anyway. And he goes, that we matched that dollar for dollar, so that's a $20 donation, and we appreciate that. And she said, it's a great cause, and we're happy to help. So that was one of my stories. And we're having a friendly competition. We have 3 stores in the West Valley, and what we're doing is the store that gets the most donations that week, I buy them lunch on Friday. So it's a friendly competition, and my store in Goodyear's won it 2 weeks in a row now, and so the guys have gotten a free lunch on Friday just to try to remind them to ask the customers for donations. It's such a great cause and such a great hospital. It was a neat event, and we're going to continue to do that through Labor Day, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's the Summer of Love promotion going on at all the shops. And Rob, thanks for taking the time to call in, and thanks for helping out. And it's Peoria, Surprise, and Goodyear, right? S&S
that's
Tires?
Correct.
And it's full service, tires, repairs, maintenance, oil changes, open today, right?
That's correct. We have all 3 stores are open today till 4, and our store in Goodyear is actually open on Sundays as well. So if someone wants to run by a donation, I know the thing is over at the Phoenix Children's Hospital, but we'll still take donations through Labor Day, and we'll match them. So if you want to bring a donation down, we'll make sure that they get credit for it, and we'll match it.
All righty. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. It was good seeing you on Thursday. Take care.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thanks for calling.
All right. You're welcome. All right, and that's just to reinforce again. I think the bumper-to-bumper shops, we haven't put our money together yet, but regardless of what you give, we've done it. We just did it ourselves and have done over $10,000, I think, on average the last 3 or 4 years, and we're hoping to really push that number up. Maybe we can get that number to 1.48 maybe by the end of the month. Who knows? 602-277-5827. 602-277-KTAR. That's how you get a hold of us. If you have a car question or a car problem you need some help with, that's what we're here for every single Saturday. Talking about some inspections, talking about state mandated. I mean, they happen back east and a lot of states, 18 states across the country do that. The majority of them are back east. I have a text that says, "Hey, Matt, I was a technician in New York, and they had to have a camera in the bay watching everything we do. Very corrupt system." I can see that. It happens. It doesn't matter. Anytime you're giving out a medallion or giving out something that somebody has to have, there's always that possibility for corruption, especially in New York maybe, huh? I don't know. But, it happens, and I can reference, I used to be a state vehicle safety inspector in Virginia when I lived there, and your driver's license is on the line. They know the serial number of every inspection sticker. It's on the window. That car gets pulled over by a state trooper, and they find out that, maybe it's got really dark tinted windows, which are illegal, and you did it for your buddy, or maybe they've got a lowrider or a lifted truck where it's outside of the allowable range, and that car never should have passed inspections. First, they're going to peel the inspection sticker right there on the side of the road, and then they're coming looking for you. And you're going to have a suspended driver's license. You're going to lose your state's vehicle inspection license. So these programs are good, but they've got to have teeth to get a hold of the people that are running the program or doling out the stickers and collecting the money. So you have any thoughts on that? Let us know. And you can do that by text, too, at 411-923. We've got open lines if you want to give us a call. We're going to go with Brian in Gilbert on the 2000 Hummer H3. Brian, what can we help you with?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, I've got that 07 Hummer H3, about 85,000 miles, and just wondering, maintenance-wise, around that mileage, what do I need to start looking at?
84 to 85. What have you done with the car over the last, say, 24 months? Maybe between 40,000 miles and now.
40,000 miles now has been the last 4 years, so
Okay.
I don't drive it a whole lot. I've got a company truck, so it's just kind of a weekend driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do a whole lot of off-roading on it, but every once in a while hunting and
Sure.
camping. So.
Okay, so it's just cruising around town for the most part. We were going to talk about the 100,000-mile vehicle maintenance, and we have to deviate a little bit from what the manufacturer says. I bet if you look in your owner's manual, you're not going to find a whole lot of required service on that vehicle until 100,000 miles. Those things have got fantastic brakes. From what our experience has been, they usually don't wear out too much. I'd be looking pretty hard at the transmission. Service, Dave would say those should be done every 25 to 30,000 miles, in that range. I think GM says 100. We're looking at cutting that in half at least, probably, especially if you're towing or anything like that. Coolant is one of the things that can go bad with age, especially if you don't have a good radiator cap. So I'd be looking at those kind of things. And again, we're talking about inspections. Go get an inspection. And I'm not talking about the inspection where they say, we're going to look it over while we do your oil change, because quite honestly, sometimes those are just looking for extra sales, which if you need something, there's nothing wrong with that. But maybe we need to establish a baseline on that car. Go in, pay $50, $60, $70 for whatever comprehensive vehicle inspection. They're pulling the wheels, they're checking the brakes, they're checking the tires, the battery, the alternator, looking for any damage, fluid leaks, the condition of the belts. It's a very proactive, in-depth, and at least it can establish a baseline for you where you can say, I like Tim, how do we do it at our shop? And we're going to say the stuff that breaks down, that it might leave you on the side of the road.
You got your breakdown.
You got to push that red button again, Tim.
Oh, yep. You got your breakdown issue, and then you have your potential breakdown issue, your maintenance, and then maybe your cosmetic. So and then on his car, at 100,000, he'll have the spark plugs are due. But like you said, it just needs to be into a shop to get the baseline, to check all the fluids and check all the basics, and then you can prioritize what needs to be done.
Yeah, and we like it when you ask questions.
Yes, exactly.
Just don't say, okay, great, I'm going to do it all. Just do it. Well, why do you want to do the transmission service? Why should I replace the spark plugs? The book says 100, you're telling me 80. Well, why? We might make that recommendation based off experience. Maybe it's, some people might just say because that's what somebody said or they read. Well, if there's some validity to that, then okay, there's something. But challenge the shop, ask them why we should do that stuff. And you're right. If it's something that's going to leave you broken down or cause further damage, that's the first priority. Second, again, is maintenance. Or we're going to give you an actual measurement of your brakes. Here's what they are. And after a couple services, we're going to be able to anticipate when you might need that service and let you know. And then the last is, cosmetic, maybe
headlamp polish.
Headlamp polish. Some of the flushes are kind of a little foofy. They don't always need to be done, but if you want to keep that Hummer in perfect condition, you want to be a little bit more proactive maybe. So
well, I'll just chime in. You might getting that maintenance inspection or vehicle inspection may instead of doing some of the maintenance, you might find you need brakes, where you can prioritize and budget that, where you do the brakes now and then do the maintenance a little bit later. So that's why that inspection is so important.
Yeah, and maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, that's something that should be done. So thanks for the call, Brian. I'm going to sneak in Steve because he's been on hold for a long time. But if you want to get in on the action on the phone calls, it's 602-277-5827. We've got some open lines. We're going to go with Steve in Tempe with a 2012 Impala. Thanks for being patient, Steve. What can we help you with?
Yes, good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I got a 2012 Chevy Impala, and it's got 43,000 miles. So I heard like a little tapping, knocking noise on the compartment side. And now it's going towards my dashboard.
Right. Okay. Well, that's an easy one. You served me up a meatball there. It's what you've got underneath the dash there. There's a series of electronic motors, and they control various doors underneath the dash that direct air in certain directions. They used to be vacuum controlled, but now you have a motor. It's going to direct it if you want it on the defrost. It's going to close one trap door and point the air that way or down, or you're going to blend the doors, the hot and the cold. And so I'm sure that's what you've got happening. And I bet you have a controller that says max maybe, and I bet if you take it off max, it might make that noise go away depending on which one it is. Sometimes those things go bad just after changing the battery. That's some of the weird complexities of these cars today. But I would say that's probably going to be pretty simple to figure out, but not necessarily inexpensive. Some of those are really easy to get to, and some of them are hard. Yeah, they're really difficult, and you've got to get to them. So if you've got questions, you want to get in on the action here, again, give us a call at 602-277-5827. We'll be right back.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Are you looking for a refreshing change in customer service? I'm Lee Weatherby from Accurate Automotive. How about a refreshing change in your car repair relationship with honest, clear, and responsive service that looks out for your needs and not ours? For over 20 years, we've been delivering award-winning service provided by ASE-certified technicians with one goal, looking out for your best interest. If it needs fixing, we'll tell you. If it doesn't, you'll know that too. I guarantee that you will not get that business-as-usual treatment at Accurate Automotive. Foreign and domestic, cars, trucks, and even fleet service, Accurate can handle your job. I invite you to come in and experience a refreshing difference in car repair and maintenance. Stop by for a free courtesy inspection, a $49 value. We feel it is well worth our investment in you because we know that good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. I'm Lee Weatherby, and I'll be there to greet you. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robeson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out at AccurateAutomotiveAZ.com today.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
All righty, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm over here watching Tim do some air drumming, jamming out here. This is our rock and roll segment coming up here. Thanks for the tunes, Bree. And, the phone's lit up, so I think we're going to have to burn through some phone calls here pretty quick to get everybody in. We've only got, I don't know, my math isn't very good, 10 minutes or something like that. So we've been talking about inspections today, having your car inspected. the consequences to the technician and our level of responsibility. If you haven't heard what we were talking about earlier, technician in Vermont arrested for manslaughter for failure to properly inspect a car that resulted in a death. So we take this stuff seriously. Sometimes, we're telling you about stuff, and people can get pretty cynical and think we're just trying to make a sale, and that stuff never happens, but it does. So think about the responsibility that you have when you're driving your car, not just yourself and your family, but everybody else. So let's burn through these calls real fast. We're going to go with James in Mesa, 03 Ford Expedition. James, what's going on today?
Hey, I had a check engine light come on, and it was flashing, and then I took it over there, and it was my number 8 cylinder. So I changed my coil pack, and I pulled my spark plug. And when I pulled my spark plug, there was this oil all over my spark plug, on the threads and on the spark plug. So I was wondering what that means, or
okay, well,
and maybe get a good shop to take it to have it looked at overall.
Well, you're in Mesa, so Accurate Automotive is one of the best guys around there, and you can find him in a bunch of other shops at bumpertobumperradio.com. And I'll tell you how we diagnose those sometimes. You have a misfire in cylinder number 8. You can do a test of the coil, pull the spark plug out, and take a look at it. Your case is a little bit different, and I'll get back to that. But we might just switch the coil. We might switch number 6 and 7, or if you had number 8 had a misfire, we'll switch it with another easy one, or one that's hopefully easy to get to. Clear the codes, go for a drive, and if that misfire follows the coil, there you have it. There's your misfire. If it's back at that same cylinder, now maybe we're looking at a spark plug, fuel injector, or some other type of problem. But your issue is pretty common, especially on import cars, where the spark plug the tube is going down the center of the valve cover. And what happens is there's an O-ring or a spark plug tube seal, similar to the valve cover gasket, and that seal hardens over time and just leaks oil. So that oil, you're not seeing it leaking on the ground. It's just leaking a little bit into the cylinder, and it starts to fill up that tube. I don't know. It's an inch in diameter, large enough for a spark plug and a spark plug wrench to get down in there, and maybe 4 or 6 inches deep. And the coil boot goes in there, and those fill up with oil. So changing that, you're just going to repeat that problem again. You're going to have to determine the source of the how that oil is getting in there, and get that gasket replaced, and that will probably solve your problem. I think you're up against something pretty easy, James. So good luck with that. Another one from Mesa. We've got Mark on a 96 Chevy half-ton truck. Mark, what can we help you with?
Yeah, my grandson bought a truck, and it says that the MLS status does not come up on the computer.
What is it again? I haven't heard that acronym.
MIL status.
Okay, the MIL. And he just bought the truck, you said?
Yeah.
Yep. What that means is maintenance indicator light, commonly referred to as your check engine light. If you're driving a truck, 1996 and newer passenger car light-duty truck, that's got a check engine light. That's what we call onboard diagnostics 2. They don't probe the tailpipe for the emissions. They don't care what's coming out the tailpipe, because we know if the check engine light is off, the car is going to pass emissions because it's running well. The car is always doing self-tests and making sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Pascal, we talk about the things and some of the things you should do before buying a used car. What's one of them that you can do that's only $20 to get an inspection to maybe save you some problems?
You should always have it inspected before you purchase any vehicle. I don't care if it's $10 or I don't care if it's $10,000. Have it inspected.
The cost of the car, you mean, not the inspection.
Not the inspection.
Okay.
That's a heck of an inspection.
And what I was going to say, a lot of shops are closed on Saturday and Sunday. Well, the emission station is closed on Sunday. But one thing you can do, take that car right to the emission station, see if it's going to pass emissions. That might save you something. You can also go to myazcar.com, I think it is, and I'm not sure if it's .com or .gov, and you can put in the VIN number of the car and look at the entire inspection report of the vehicle emissions. And what it is that check engine light, when you turn on the key, that check engine light should come on. And if it doesn't come on, there's something happened. So it sounds like somebody has taken the bulb out, covered it up with tape, or done one of those tricks. You had no idea, and now you've got a car that doesn't pass emissions. So you're going to have to make the check engine light work first, and then we got to find out why the heck somebody made that thing go off. And it's going to have to get fixed. You're in Mesa, too. We talked about Accurate Automotive. That might be a good place to start, or actually go to Bumper to Bumper Radio and find a shop there. We're going to go with James in Gilbert on an 07 Jeep Compass. James, what's happening today?
Hey, real quick, I got a Jeep. As I'm driving, sometimes it seems like the power shuts off for just a split second. I'll lose kind of most of my power to the gas pedal. And my traction control light comes on, and my check engine light comes on. And I'm trying to figure out why. I just had the check engine light red. It said cylinder number 1, misfire. I'm just not sure if those two things are related or separate. Or
it could be. You said the traction control light comes on also?
Yeah, and then once that's on, I can floor the gas pedal and barely accelerate.
Okay. And does this happen, does it tend to happen more often as you're accelerating? I know you can demonstrate the symptom, but does it, or can you just be cruising at a steady idle and it starts to lose power?
Yeah, it's pretty much just as I'm kind of cruising along.
Okay.
And I'll shut off just for a quick second.
Okay. Well, what we need to do is we need to first figure out and make sure the cylinder misfire problem is fixed. If you've got a misfire and a flashing check engine light, that's not good. In a lot of cars, it's going to turn on a lot of the lights. Toyota turns on the traction control and the stability control light as well, because those systems stop working if the engine isn't performing well. At first, I was going to think maybe you had a bad ABS sensor or a wheel speed sensor, and that could be causing a problem. But that's what the traction control does. If it sees wheel speed differentials between the rear wheels or the front wheels, or under acceleration, you start to do a burnout, for example. You can't do a burnout in new cars. I go around the other day. I had pulled out an accident, and I had to get up and go, step on the gas. I'm going, but this thing's not going. It's because I got a little chirp out of the tire. The traction control senses that. It cuts back the power to maintain traction, and then it will slowly let that power get reapplied and get going. So let's work on the check engine light first, and then that may or may not take care of the problem. As long as we get that taken care of, then we can tackle your traction control issue. And Christy, I am not going to rush you through a phone call. I will get your call after the show here in just a minute and take care of you on your Suburban. So again, thanks everybody who participated in the PCH Give-a-thon. Donated a lot of money to that Jewel in the Desert here at Phoenix Children's Hospital. Thanks, Bree, for running the dials and keeping us on time. And thanks, Tim and Pascal, for joining us, and Carrie for helping out today. We'll see you next week.
Do you love your hybrid? Yep, we did too. Hi, my name is Brian. We bought our Prius to help with my wife's long commute back and forth to work. We love the get up and go and the fuel economy. But 8 years later, our MPG was eroding and the zip was gone. We tried everything from tune-ups to new tires. The dealership's answer was, that's just the way it goes with hybrids, and that we were probably looking at a new battery at the cost of $4,000 to $6,000. Sound familiar? We were lost. Then we found the hybrid shop at GoodWorks Auto Repair. They were able to condition our battery to like new for a fraction of the cost. The Zip and the 40-plus MPG is back. We're in love again with our Prius and the hybrid shop at GoodWorks Auto Repair.
Thanks for the kind words, Brian. Hi, Glenn Hayward for the Hybrid Shop at GoodWorks Auto Repair. Fall in love again with your hybrid. For details, go to GoodWorksAutoRepair.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at TriCityTransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Groovy music, Matt. Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service, and we'll match it for the kids.
For the summer of love, go to bumpertobumperradio.com today.